Hey guys, Bow Wow Jimmy Rao here. If you haven't already done so, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and give me a like for this video. I hope you enjoy it. So today we're going to talk about day one in the car business. I'm kind of actually doing this a little bit backwards, and you'll understand here in a minute. So I'm going to take you from what it's like day one in the car business as a salesperson, the things that you should do. We're going to talk about positive things, only positive things, okay? So let's start with the first thing. You want to be well groomed. You want to be ready. So before you even leave your house, you want to be ready. You want to make sure, whether you're a guy or a gal, obviously women takes a little bit more time probably to get ready in the morning. You got to have your hair ready. You got to have everything looking nice. Got to be showered, everything like that. And then there's an important one. See this right here? This has got to go away. You got to be clean cut or a nicely groomed beard. I know it sounds weird, but I've worked for some people, with some people, in this industry, and they just do not take care of themselves. They have no hygiene. And it's like, well, how do you think you're ever going to convince somebody to buy a vehicle from you if you don't smell good, you don't look good, you don't even try? So let's just talk about getting ready for the day. Depending on what your dealership is, out here in Arizona, things are a little bit different than other places in the country. I know that Florida might be very similar, but the hot climates, some of the stores are nice enough to offer polos and shorts. Then you got that kind of thing. In the wintertime, you might have to wear some heavy clothing, a jacket, a hoodie, a hat, all that kind of different stuff. But you want to make sure you have all that ready to go before you leave the house. And one more thing. You got to have boots. Wintertime, I spent most of my career in Minnesota. Like 99% of it, pretty much. So you got to make sure you have boots. Bring those boots with you. Put them at your desk. Leave them in your car. I don't care what you do. You just got to have boots. Either they're in the car or they're at your desk. Some stores might have a locker for you to facilitate those, and then you'll have a place for those. That's also very nice, but it's a good thing to have ready to go, especially if you're starting a new career in the industry in the wintertime. Another thing, before you even get ready in the morning, these are things that you should have set up prior to your first day. You want to make sure you have a notebook. You want to make sure you have a pen, because you got to write things down. You got to take notes while you're there, all that kind of different stuff. And, you might want to bring a bottle of water. Just depends on where you're at. Some stores provide it, some stores don't, but they always could run out, because you got to be hydrated. You got to be ready to go. You got to be on your A game. You got to be A+, just little things like that. It works like that in all jobs. But this is a career. This is something that you're going to do for the rest of your life. Or you might do it for 15 years like me and end up doing something else. Or you might do it for 20 years. You never know. But it's just simple things that need to be mentioned. So I just figured I would, do this video and let everybody know. So we'll continue on here shortly. That's step number one. Make sure you have everything ready to go. And then we'll go from there. So I know this sounds really weird, but what I'm gonna do next, I don't think I really need to show everybody, but I'm gonna go shave, and then we'll recuperate after that. That's kind of like one of the things you want to make sure you're doing before you go to work. Now, everybody is different. Some people do it every day. Some people do it a couple times a week, whatever it might be. But just make sure you're groomed at least for day one. And so on and so forth. But, I understand people can, get behind on that kind of thing, but let's be groomed and let's be fresh. Let's be ready to go. All right, so you guys can see everything feels and looks a lot better. I look fresh. I look like I'm ready to go to work now. Now, a lot of people, it's kind of a bad thing. Breakfast. Not everybody eats breakfast in the morning. I'll be the first one to tell you I don't every morning. However, I do highly suggest getting a routine of having breakfast throughout your work week anytime you can get a chance. A good healthy breakfast means a good healthy day. You know, it kind of boosts your energy and things like that. And then another thing, when you get in the car and drive, everybody's got their different vibes. Some people want to listen to hardcore rock music. They want to listen to talk radio. They want to listen to motivational speakers, all that kind of stuff. It actually does tie into your work day, because if you're getting off to a good note in the morning, you're going to have a good day throughout the day. Now, in the car business, you're going to find out, just depending on where you're at. Some mornings you might work, 8, 9 o'clock start, depending on what time the store opens. And some other times you might work in the afternoon. Just make sure you get kind of set up to whatever your schedule might be. But I do highly recommend having a breakfast in the morning. I mean, even if it's just a shake, some eggs. I mean, heck, they always say Wheaties, right? Cornflakes gives you more energy. I mean, just have something. That way you can get going throughout the day. It's all kind of a mental game you'll find throughout your career of trying to sell vehicles and talking to people. And it's just sales in general. It's getting motivated, getting ready for the day. So whatever it might be, some loud music, some quiet music, maybe no music at all. It just sounds little, easy, tedious things, but these are all important. And before you go, you want to make sure you have lunch figured out, because you want to get there and you want to be distracted, things like that, especially on day one. Day number one is very important, because it's like anything. It's probably not going to be a whole heck of a lot of fun. You're probably going to go in, you're probably going to talk to somebody that either your HR manager, or there might be somebody else that's helping you out, a manager. But it's just like everything. Just make sure you bring the normal stuff. Driver's license, a social security card, or a passport, whatever it might be, depending on the store. But just bring those items just in case. You don't want to have to get back in your car and go home. Oh, sorry, boss, I forgot something. You got to go get it. And then the other thing is, most stores now, to my knowledge, unless it's maybe a small store in a small town somewhere, they all do direct deposit. So try to remember that as well. A check so you can fill out your direct deposit. Unless some people are really good and they can remember their routing number and the checking account number. So you don't have to do that either. But just bring those items with. Those are great things to bring on day one. It'll help solve all the problems. And like I said earlier, don't forget the pen. The number one thing I see salespeople do in all of my time in the industry is you'll go to a meeting and the boss will say, well, who's got a pen to take notes? And I always have a pen because it's always right here on my shirt. So I just know, just bring a pen. Don't embarrass yourself. Bring the pen if you have to. I mean, I already have my desk set up at work, but when you get set up like we're doing on the first day, it's always kind of nice to bring maybe a box of pens or 2, 3, 4 pens, because you are going to need more than one pen to write with. Sounds silly, but you do. You need more than one, because you've got to have one, and then your customer, let's say you sell 2 cars, and the first customer loses the pen. Well, now you're down a pen. You got to have another pen. Or you sell one, but there's a co-signer. There's husband, wife, or mom and dad and kid, or whatever it might be, relative. They each need to sign. It's always nice to have more than one pen. And then you're always going to be running around doing something else where you're going to need a pen while they're filling out the credit app if they're financing. Just depends on what store you're at. Most people are still financing vehicles. As we see the prices are increasing, they're doing longer terms as well. You'll also find that out. So I hope you guys really like my advice here. comment down below, send me an email. We'll keep it going. And I gotta have a little bit of footage for you guys of kind of walking around the lot on day one. But like I said, just bring those things with, and it'll make life a lot more simple. So thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy the rest of this video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button right now, or give me a thumbs up if you like it so far. So this is just walking around the lot here. We've got some used trucks and some new ones split in here. But this is life of a car salesman. Getting to know the inventory. So you just kind of walk around and see what you can find. This is what every good salesman should do. You know, once a day, wander the lot, see what's left out here. But especially when you're new, knowing your inventory is what you need to know. Brand new in the business, you gotta know what to sell. Times are tough a little bit more now. So it's even more important to walk a lot. Because something might have been here yesterday, but it's gone today. Or something new might have showed up. So now you gotta call your customer and tell them it's here. Every store's set up a little bit different, so you just kind of see what this one is. I don't really want to advertise too much because this is a video. But some of you probably obviously know where this is at. And you got fresh trade-ins, so you always want to look at those. Then the way this dealership happens to be set up, I have two different buildings. Service here with some loaner vehicles. So it's always nice to know where those are at, even when you're selling. Life with the salesman. Some more stuff on the front line here. Then I'll walk across and show you the used. Oh yeah, you never know when you're going to run into a customer. I just talked to that guy. Seems like a pretty nice guy. Might be able to sell him something. You just never know. All right, guys, so it's the end of your first day. You're driving home. First thing that probably comes to mind, you're like, God, what did I just do? I just got a job in the car business. Or maybe you've been in the business for a while and you've switched dealerships, but more than likely, it's the first day in the car business. That's what this group is all about, or this video anyways, this series. We're like, wow, that was kind of fun, you know? Just kind of a recap of your first day, all the different things that are gonna go through your mind throughout your journey as a car salesperson. Man or woman, just depends, you know? Everybody just kind of has their own thing. But yeah, it's usually a pretty good day as you do everything and get ready, get familiar with what's going on at that store, and just getting to know everybody. That's just kind of how day one goes. And then, you know, you might get into some training or something like that, but chances are, you know, you're probably doing paperwork and getting familiar where things are at, and, you know, who your friends are going to be or aren't going to be. I guess that depends on that too, because it's a tough grind. The car business is tough. It's not an easy thing to get into. But my advice, after doing it for this long, I would suggest just be friends with pretty much everybody. And like anything else, keep your enemies closer, of course. But, you know, it's all about being nice and friendly to your coworkers and the customers. Got to be nice to all the customers, and just go there and put your head together and focus. I mean, I understand there's sometimes things that are going on at home, but you got to leave home at home and work at work. And sometimes, you know, part of being a car salesperson, though, you do have to bring your work home. That's a good tip I could give you right now. Always leave your phone on. Even if you're out doing something, you're on vacation, you're hanging out with family and friends, at least have it on you. Maybe not answer it, but customers, they're gonna call you. Just call them back. They leave a message, call them back. Even if they don't leave a message, just call them back. Just do a courtesy thing. It's just like anything else. If a family member calls you, they don't leave a message, chances are you're probably gonna call them back. So that's my words of advice. I would just follow up with everybody. And, you know, the sooner, I mean, it's day one, you're kind of new, you're still figuring out, but the sooner you tell your friends, neighbors, and relatives what you're doing, the sooner you're going to have referrals, and the sooner you're going to get going. Because it's always that first deal that's a lot of grind. Once you pop the cherry or cut the tie, whatever it might be, we'll get into that later on, but whatever the term might be, it's that first one that really takes a lot out of you, to try and find that first customer to make happy. And just the thrill of seeing them drive home in a new vehicle is nothing better than that. Because you can say, hey, you know, you might be out on the road and you can say, hey, I recognize that car. I think I sold that guy or gal a car. And the next thing you know, yep, you did. And, you know, depending on where you live, if you're in a small town, you better take care of your customer. You better treat them with respect, because if you don't, somebody else will, and you'll never see them again. But just be nice to people, say hi to everybody. That's the best news I can give you for day one. But we'll get into more of the grind and what goes on in the business after that. Anyways, I want to say thanks for watching, and I hope you liked this video, and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done so. And we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching, everybody. Be safe.